Hey, it's Tim. How important is your logo to your business's success, either through digital marketing or through anything? Well, we work with a lot of companies on their logos, whether it's because they're right at the start and they're a very new business and they need a brand identity, or if it's we're redesigning their website and they just want to give the whole thing a kind of clean look and feel and start from fresh. It's really interesting to see how attached as business owners or marketing managers we are to the idea of the perfect logo. But I want to suggest to you that actually logos really aren't important to your business's success at all, or at least nowhere near as important as we can sometimes make them. So something really interesting is going on in the world of fashion at the moment. And that is that lots of these luxury fashion brands are redesigning their logos from things that we've come to know and love to this basic generic same sans serif font. So for example, Burberry moving from this iconic kind of beautiful English old font to this very generic sans serif font, which could basically be interchanged with any of these. So what's going on and why are they doing this? Well, they're doing this because they want fonts and logos which are more versatile and easy to use online. Okay, so that's really what they're doing. They're doing it because these logos, to an extent, are holding them back from doing more versatile stuff and putting these logos on pretty much anything. But it's interesting, isn't it, that all of these fashion brands are basically built on their brand and their look. That's all they've really got. You know, Burberry didn't invent the bag. It just makes nice bags and puts their logo on, right? They fulfill the same function. So Burberry's asset, Burberry's value is really its brand and its logo. So it's interesting that it would go for something completely generic. What these companies realize is that the reason that, for example, Burberry is successful is not because people have built an emotional attachment to that logo. The reason that Burberry is successful is because people have built an emotional attachment to Burberry, and the logo is just the visual representation of Burberry. The same is true for Harley Davidson, right? You see big bikers with Harley Davidson tattooed on them, not because they love the logo, but because they love what the logo represents. And you can change the logo and keep that representation. I always thought it was interesting that in the branding books, you know, you'll hear a branding guru talk about the importance of logo in a business's brands, and they'll use examples like Nike and Apple, and they'll show that these really iconic logos are a large part of the success of the company. Well, actually, not really at all. People like Nike, yes, the swoosh is cool, and yes, you can put it on some shoes and it's easy to recognize. But people like Nike, because of what it represents, they don't buy the shoes purely because of the logo. They buy the shoes because they like the look of the shoes, and they're buying into the whole thing about Nike. And exactly the same with Apple. If we think that Apple is successful and we all use Apple products because of the logo, we're mad. They use Apple products because they're great products and we like how they make us feel. I always think it's interesting that when Steve Jobs left Apple and went and started the next computer company, he used that super logo guy, I can't remember his name, but he used the logo guy that works with everyone, is really iconic, to design the logo for Next. And they spent ages on it, and it's all about, it's in the Walter Isaacson book, they spent ages on it designing, you know, the perfect slant of the E and presented this, you know, massive vision behind the logo. Well, the company was still widely regarded as a failure, even though the logo was awesome. And Steve Jobs was behind the idea for the Apple logo, behind the idea for the Next logo. So same input, different output, i.e. it's not the logo. So really, if you're in the process of designing a logo or you're thinking about your business's logo, you're concerned that your logo is holding you back, A, don't be afraid to change. You can make that transition. And B, don't get caught up thinking that the logo defines your success or failure. It's really not that important. So do you agree or do you disagree? Let us know in the comments.